What's up, everybody? Zombie Pete here with Bloody Flicks, and today I'm going to tell you about my trip to Atlanta for Days of the Dead 2022 Atlanta. Alright, Days of the Dead Atlanta. We had Corey Taylor, Bill Moseley, Doug Bradley, Tom Savini, Tyler Mane, Ginger Lynn Allen, Daniel Harris, Louis Gossett Jr., Kane Hodder, Scott Compton Taylor, Tom Arnold, Alexandra Esso, Billy Zane, Derek Mears, Henry Thomas, Roger L. Jackson, James Murray, Hannah Fairman, Deborah Foreman, Laura Park Lincoln, Lisa Zane, Michael Bay Smith, Tony Morgan. If I missed any others, I apologize. But a short list that I try to remember who was there. So I went specifically for Doug Bradley. Doug Bradley was the one I wanted to get, Pinhead himself. So when this announcement came out for Atlanta with Doug Bradley being there, and he's my all-time horror type guy, character, I wanted to go. Unfortunately, my work, the way it works is they tell you Wednesday if you're going to work Saturday. So I don't know. So Kyle that's in my videos, he said he's not going to go that far, especially by car. So I asked my wife if she wanted to fly down, and she was absolutely fine with flying down to Atlanta. The problem is we didn't know, we couldn't get the tickets in advance. So the tickets in advance were like $400. And by that Wednesday when if we found out at work, they jumped up to like 7 something. Well, Wednesday they told us we had to work Saturday. So that was off the table. So I was assuming I wasn't going to drive or fly or drive or even be able to go to Atlanta. So it was off the table. Then come Friday at work, work decided that they're going to cancel Saturday, and we were off by noon on Friday. So last minute, I called a friend of mine, Kevin, and he's like, "Sure, let's go." So I took a quick nap, I showered, got all my stuff together, and my friend Kevin met me, and I think we're on the road by 5. So by 5 o'clock, we're on the road, and we decided to stay the night in Clarksville, Tennessee, which is about 7.5 hours away from where I live. With gas and stopping, because we didn't even have a hotel, was about 8.5. So we actually drove, and my dumb self was supposed to turn and go towards Champaign, Illinois, and I went straight to Springfield, Illinois. So the GPS took us and backtracked us to a small town. So I've been up since 5 o'clock in the morning at this time, and the drive was actually not bad, but going through small towns and small 2-lane roads kind of wears on you. So by the time we had to stop, get gas, and call a hotel and book a hotel in Clarksville, that last hour was pretty brutal, considering that we rushed with this trip so fast that we were starving. So we rushed it out. Anyway, we got to Clarksville about 1:30 to 1:30 in the morning. Went straight to Waffle House, 8, crashed the hotel, and got up by 7. Was on the road to Atlanta, which is 5.5 hours or so to Atlanta. But now we're at Atlanta, so find a place to park. I have been through Atlanta a few different times. I've never drove in Atlanta. I've only drove through Atlanta. So this was a new experience. The hotel that they had it in was pretty easy to get to, pretty easy to find. Unfortunately, there's a lot of one-ways. So getting caught in a one-way, we went around the block of the hotel once we found it, and we ended up on the backside of the road, the backside of the hotel, trying to find a place to park. Well, luckily there's a parking ramp 2 blocks over from the hotel where the convention's at, and luckily for that, because we would end up back on the interstate, which would have been a pain in the butt to find a way back. So, yeah, it wasn't too bad of a drive for a quick turnaround. I think it was 24-hour drive in 2.5 days, or 2 days total. So that's how fast we did this trip. But like I said, my goal is Doug Bradley, Tyler Mane, Daniel Harris, Scott Compton Taylor were the first 4 I was going to go to. I also wanted to get a few others. I wanted to get Derek Mears and possibly Murray. I thought about Tom Arnold, Louis Gossett Jr., which I did not see there. I already have his autograph. I wanted to get a Jaws 3D autograph, but I did not see him. And then, of course, Tom Savini I wanted to get. So Bill Moseley I never met. And I did security for actually Corey Taylor at a show that he did here in our local arena. So But that was my plan, to meet the first four and then go from there. So we would get to into the convention, the hotel where the convention's at. And unlike Chicago, Chicago is one room. And they have all the people signing autographs, celebrities around the outside, the perimeter. And in the center, they have all the people selling stuff. Atlanta's different. Atlanta, you walk in, and across from the doors is a person selling T-shirts. Then there's a ballroom directly in front of me, and to my right is another kind of room that's real open, selling stuff. Well, it looks like you could walk in without paying, which was kind of weird, which I knew that wasn't going to happen. So they had a person dressed like the female Cenobite at the autograph door. You can see people in there, some stars in there. So I had to ask, where do we buy tickets at? And then behind me, which I couldn't see, was where you buy the tickets. I think it was like $40. So we proceeded to go into the main door directly in front of us, where I knew there was people for autographs. And immediately, right away, Doug Bradley is to my right as soon as you walk in the door. So, of course, I jump in line for Doug Bradley right away. So I think it was Doug Bradley. I think it was Derek Mears, Murray, Billy Zane, Lisa Zane. I can't remember who else. Tom Savini, Bill Moseley. I think the two singers, Corey Taylor was on one side. But as I looked around, I noticed there wasn't Kane Hodder, Daniel Harris, Scott Compton Taylor. So I had to ask someone who worked there. I said, hey, where's this at? Well, they're in a different room. So you have that room. And then you have the other room that I told you about that has the stuff for sale. Well, you have to walk through there and then go to another room, which is another room for stuff for sale. And then off of that is another room, which just has people selling stuff. And then in that third room that I went through was the other people. So the other stars signing autographs. So it was kind of a weird setup. I prefer Chicago, even though Chicago is a little more crowded. I prefer the setup where you walk in and you just hit the outside walls, the perimeter, and walk around and get all the autographs. Instead of jumping from room to room. This setup wasn't like that. They had a lot of stuff for sale here. So it's hard to judge which one is bigger or if they're the same or not. I don't know. But yeah, that was how the setup was. So I prefer the Chicago Days of the Dead setup better. But I did like the people. I mean, Doug Bradley, that's what I went for. So, but anyway, I jumped in line for Doug Bradley and got in line for him. He was cool. He had a lot of pictures to choose from. I thought about getting Hellraiser 3 when he's at the altar, doing his little pose there. But I chose not to get that one. I just got another picture of him in his full actual outfit. And he signed "See You in Hell." And it was only $40. So I asked him, can I get an autograph? And he said, sure. And I asked him how much. He said nothing. So it was $40 for a picture and an autograph, which is awesome. And he sat down next to him. He did keep his mask on, which is, it kind of sucks. But, I mean, he is older, so I don't care if they choose to wear a mask or not. I mean, that's up to them. So if they feel it keeps them safe, great, do it. I'm all for it. Hopefully, eventually, I get a picture of him without his mask with him. But hey, you know what? I got the picture, so that's all that matters. And it was only $40, which is really awesome. And yeah, so that I was ecstatic right off the bat. So my friend Kevin, he has never been to a convention before. He didn't know what to expect. So I got Doug Bradley. Murray was gone. Derek Mears was gone. A lot of people on lunch were doing their convention talk stuff because it was about lunchtime. I did not see a lot of the stars. I did not see Louis Gaspar Jr. I did not see a few of the others. So when we were going from room to room, it was kind of like weird because it was like people were missing. So we had to bounce back and forth to try to catch them all. I did get Tom Savini. I heard rumors that he's nice. I heard rumors that he could be a jerk. Well, each person has different moods on different days, so I take it for what it is because we're all human. So Tom Savini was sitting there. Told him I was honored to meet him. Sat down next to him, got a picture, and yeah, it's pretty cool. It says honor me, it says honor me you. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So got to meet the legend himself. We will see him again in Cincinnati. He will be in Cincinnati, and we will be there for that one. So we'll get to meet him again. So hopefully Cal and I get a picture of him together. That'd be kind of cool. Then after that, we kind of perused the room real quick. A lot of the stars, like I said, were gone. We ended up walking through the other 3 rooms to get to the other stars. And then we walked in. Daniel Harris and Scott Compton Taylor were gone at that time. They were gone for their lunch. Kane Hodder was there. So my friend Kevin, his first autograph was Kane Hodder. And he was just going to get the autograph. And I'm like, no, you got to get a picture with him. If you're going to do it right. So he ended up picking a picture from, because he's a lot younger than I am. He's 29. So his Jason movie is Jason X. So he picked the picture of him in the Jason X mask. He got his picture taken, and got to sit down next to Kane. A lot of the stars sat at this one, and you sat next to him and take a picture versus standing, which was kind of different. And another difference was they had swipers on their. So instead of carrying cash, if you didn't have cash, they had card swipers on their phone, which I have not seen that before. Either I didn't pay attention because I always carried cash, but I noticed it this time for some reason, and they all had card readers, which was, I guess, kind of cool if you don't carry cash. I usually take cash to conventions, take so much out, plan ahead, and have different envelopes, and so I know how much I'm spending. But I guess if you don't have that, they do swipe cards now. I imagine that would get you in a lot of trouble if you start swiping and getting everybody's autograph. You'd be down a few $1,000s, I would imagine. But anyway, Kane Hodder, he sat there, and my friend Kevin was so enamored about this picture he got. Kane Hodder actually has his hand like, then hear Kane Hodder, "You gonna leave me hanging, man?" So it was pretty cool. Kane Hodder if you ever get a chance, Kane Hodder, awesome guy to meet. He's funny. He tries to crack jokes. He cracked a joke when I got his picture and autograph in Lexington. He did the same thing here. He's pretty awesome person to meet. So it's probably why he's probably the most sought after autograph for as far as a Jason character. But anyway, after Kevin got his autograph, we found out that Daniel Harris and Scott Compton Taylor won't be there. Kevin went his way to get a wrestler's autograph. I made to Tyler Mane, and I wanted to get his autograph. So, and he is Rob Zombie's Halloween. He played Michael Myers in Rob Zombie's Halloween, and he is my favorite Michael Myers character, being that big, that badass, and that is my favorite Halloween movie. So I had to get his autograph, and of course I had to ask him how many times does he hear the line, "I'm Joe Grizzly bitch," because he just laughed and kind of smirked, because I'm sure he hears it a lot. And then I asked him, how tall are you? I guess 6'6", he is 6'7", and if you see the picture, yeah, he is tall. I actually asked if I had to step on my tippy toes because I was afraid I would not get in the picture. But yeah, he's a cool dude. He's really laid back, really cool, funny. If you ever get a chance to meet Tyler Mane, do so. He is a cool guy. But anyway, we had to leave and go back in the other room because the girls weren't there. So we walked around a little bit, they had masks and stuff like that, which is cool. But I don't really buy a lot of stuff at the conventions because I already have so much stuff already. But we made it back, had to go back to the other room. So we had to go out that room, another room, hallway, lobby, whatever, to the other room. So it's kind of a weird setup. And at that time, other people had arrived. So Murray had arrived. So my friend Kevin got his line. I got in Derek Mears' line. And here's where I messed up. I'm in line at Derek Mears. There's a gentleman talking to Derek Mears. And they're having a conversation, which I'm cool with that. Talk away. It's your pain to meet them. If they want to tell you a 15-minute story and talk to you, I'll wait. I don't like when people get impatient because, you know what, we all want to meet them. We all have different experiences with these movies or actors or whatever at different timelines, so they affect us differently. Do your thing. I see Kevin getting ready to meet Murray, so I jump out of line with Derek Mears because I thought I would have to take a picture for my friend. Well, Murray takes, from having Practical Jokers, takes his own picture himself. So he looks at me and says, "Hey, you went in on this?" Well, I said no because it was my friend's first time at a convention. I don't want to jump into a picture of his, not the first time. This is his first experience. I want him to enjoy it. My friend Kevin said it was cool. I just elected not to. I regret the fact that I did not get that picture because I would have got Murray if he'd have been on a lower tier to meet. If I had money or just had the whim to get it or whatever. I think it was $60 to get his autograph and selfie. He is Murray from Practical Jokers is one of the nicest guys I've ever met. He is cool. He was signing Kevin's autograph. He asked, "Hey, what's your favorite um, episode?" Kevin's was when when Sal gets covered with cats. Mine was when they take Joe's house and put wrapping paper, they paper over the whole house and cover everything. So he actually told us how much that cost. We talked about it a little bit. Awesome guy. And then as we're leaving, he put out his hand, shook my hand. He's like, "Hey, nice to meet you." I'm like, "Nice to meet you too. It was an honor." And then I regretted not getting the picture with him or jumping in with Kevin's picture. So if I ever see him again and meet him again, I'll definitely get his autograph and picture because that's one I do regret. So, and then not only that, I jumped out of Derek Mears' line. I forgot to get back in line because I wanted to get other people's stuff. So I ended up in Billy Zane's line. I did get Lisa Zane in Chicago. So I wanted to get from Demonites, get Billy Zane, also from Titanic. Wears a mask. He doesn't really get too close to you. He doesn't like run from you or nothing, but he has a big poster of like the Titanic or whatever of him. And then he stands on one side, you stand on the other side. It was an honor to meet him. Of course, he was nice back, reciprocated back. So that's cool. I mean, he is, I want to say 58 or something like that. So that was cool. I wanted to get Bill Moseley again, but I already have an autograph of his Chop Top. I wanted to get an autograph from a House of a Thousand Corpse. But at that point, I had spent so much money. So actually, I'll end up with, he was just there, but we ran back over to the other room, 3 rooms away, to get Daniel Harris, to see Daniel Harris and Scott Taylor over there. Well, they just got there, so that was one of the 3 main ones I was going for. So, 4 main ones I was going for. So we get in line with Daniel Harris. Now, she is a legend. She's been in movies, not only Halloween when she was a kid, The Last Boy Scout, not to mention every other movie she is. And then, of course, Rob Zombie's Halloween and everything since then. And her talk show with Scott Taylor Compton about their talk show they have on their podcast, which is really entertaining. So you should check that out. So I pick a picture of her with, the picture I picked was her as a young girl with the knife with Michael Myers' face in it, with no wording, to have her sign that. She has a beautiful picture of her like being rained on by blood. I think I might get that picture next time. It's just a cool picture. And then she had a lot of pictures of her and her with Scout and them together, which I'm sure a lot of dudes like that. But she's cool. As I went up to her to get her autograph, I told her how her podcast made me laugh, and she blurts out, "You mean the butt plug? How about the butt plugs?" And I said, "Well, that was funny too. I meant the finger poking, because if you ever watch her episodes of her podcast or listen to part of them, they're random stuff and horror and all mixed. And one was about butt plugs, and one was about finger poking. And you need to go watch her episodes to understand what I'm talking about." So we talked about that. She asked where I worked. I told her how far I traveled. So we actually had an actual conversation. She initiated some conversations like that. So awesome, wonderful lady, down to earth. I think she, out of all the people, she'd be the most realist. Like if you met her like on the street, she would talk to you the same as she would at a convention, and that's the same person you'd probably see on her podcast. So she's awesome. And when I walked in the first time to go see her, I saw her looking at something on a rack, and I knew it was her right away. But of course, I didn't want to bother her, so that's kind of rude to bother somebody when they're on break or whatever. But after we got Daniel Harris, so it was kind of cool that I actually talked about butt plugs, finger poking, and my job with Daniel Harris. Pretty awesome. So thumbs up. If you ever meet her, obviously do so. Next was Scott Taylor Compton, and she was pretty cool. She was obviously the lead in Rob Zombie's Halloween, the survivor. Obviously a lot younger then. She's really cool. I think the picture I got of her was her with her neck back and Michael Myers was slicing her neck. She was cool. We talked a little bit. Got a picture. She is awesome, and whatever she wears for perfume smells wonderful. Just to let you know. So, but yeah, she's cool too. So at that point, I had received, got Pinhead, Doug Bradley, excuse me, Tom Savini, Daniel Harris, Scott Taylor Compton, and I got the main 4. And who else did I get? Oh, Tyler Main, which I wanted to get, so I got the 5. And then I got Lower Park Lincoln. I wanted to get her autograph because, um, let's see here. Where was she at? Oh, she was next to, she was in the same room as Daniel Harris. So she was obviously a survivor of Friday the 13th. I want to say 7 or 8. I can't remember exactly. But I want to get her to go on my Friday the 13th section. She is awesome. She took a few pictures. Actually, the picture I got her is from Roseblood, because I wanted something different. And she, of course, was in that. I think one of the pictures she actually pulled out my hat over my face as a joke. So she is really cool, really fun. So that is all the autographs that I got in Atlanta. I wanted to get more, but I spent so much money that I freak out. And at that point, it had been late. So in order to get this 24-hour drive done in 2 days, we only had so much time at the convention. So after I got the main autographs I wanted, I just had to forego Hannah and a few other autographs that I wanted. My friend Kevin wanted to go see the Mercedes-Benz Dome where the Falcons play. So we took a quick drive through town, saw that, hit the interstate, came back. So from there, I think it was 7.5 back, or instead of staying in Clarksville, we're going to stay in Evansville, Indiana. And that was 6.5, 7 hours. So that way we stayed there and we're closer to home. So yeah, on the trip back, we just decided to stop in Dalton, Georgia, which is easy town to stop off Interstate. Had a Cracker Barrel and Outback Steakhouse. So we ate at Outback Steakhouse, had a great meal, and then from there we just drove, got to Evansville, Indiana about 1 in the morning, and then we're up again at 7, I think, on the road by 8 to head home. So quick 24-hour drive in 2 days, just to get a couple autographs. So yeah, I'm crazy like that, I guess. But you know what, Doug Bradley and the rest were worth it, because I don't know if I'm ever going to meet Doug Bradley again. I imagine I'll meet the others at some point, but I definitely want to get his autograph. But you know what, guy trip, if you ever get a chance to just go, do that. And anyway, that was Atlanta Days of the Dead 2022. Quick recap, how it went down, the quick jump in the car and go trip. So until next time, stay bloody, as Kyle would say, and I'll talk to you later.